Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another high level best of 3. Today in the bottom left spawning as our red PROTOSS player playing for Team Dragon Phoenix Gaming. It is herO. And in the top right spawning as our blue PROTOSS player playing for Shopify Rebellion is the one, the only, Harstem. Oh yeah. Harstem versus herO, a PvP of the ages. herO known as one of the greatest PROTOSS versus PROTOSS players in the world, and Harstem known as the 4th best YouTuber in the Netherlands, so this is definitely going to be an absolute banger over here. Harstem hasn't shown a lot of impressive PROTOSS versus PROTOSS lately. herO has looked somewhat weak against a certain European called MaxPax, but that's about it when it comes to his weakness. herO is fast, he's aggressive, he's cool. He's ruggedly handsome as well, of course. Let's not forget about that. So we see herO opting for the 1-gate expand, while Harstem opens up with a 2-gate on the high ground. Now, majority of the time when we see these two builds go up against one another, the 1-gate expand tends to follow up into some type of quick aggression. I'm not so sure if that's going to be the case here. Harstem not a player that is that aggressive. He's a player that likes to respond, that likes to have his build orders prepared for every scenario. So I'm not a huge fan personally of this 2-gate play, but I'm curious to see where it's going to lead, right? We'll have to wait and see. Of course, Harstem really needs to be invested into blocking this Nexus from going down. If this Nexus actually goes up, yeah, there we go, and the Zealot can get cancelled, that would be an absolute and a nightmare. Just a complete nightmare. Let's see, Harstem opening up with a Zealot and a Sentry for himself. This Zealot is obviously going to get cancelled there. No one wants to build a Zealot if they don't have to. As we see the probe move in towards the natural. Do we get a cancel on that Zealot? No, not yet. There's still a pylon up here. Oh, got the rebuild even. Look at that. Harstem really keen on blocking that. This Zealot, oh, whoa, can we get a cancel? Yep, there we go. And the Nexus will go down first here on the side of the 2-gate player. Absolutely brilliant piece of engineering coming out of the Dutch PROTOSS player. Just kind of outplaying herO here in the early game with that probe movement, with the early build order, now that pylon on the low ground. Harstem, aware of the lack of any type of tech, knows that most likely it's just going to be a 2nd gate, and he even can get the confirmation on that with this Sentry, which will have a hallucination pretty soon. You have a battery coming down here for herO. This is just beautiful. This is such a great start here for our Dutch PROTOSS player. It almost gives me the shivers. Alright, what do we have? Hallucination coming in. We have no scouting whatsoever coming out of herO. Ah, no, Harstem, you dumb clown. Why would you show the Sentry here? Right now the Sentry gets shown, and herO can just get this Twilight Council up without any real issue as well, right? This is a Twilight Council where he isn't worried about anything hitting the main base. No oracles, no cheeky robotics facility. However, if you don't show the Sentry, all of a sudden there's a possibility that there's some quick tech with this as well, of course. Some fast, I don't know, some fast Immortals or some quick oracles coming out. Now the information advantage that Harstem had before has pretty much disappeared, but on the other hand we do see a superior worker count and a very fast 3rd gate and a Dark Shrine here coming out of our Dutch PROTOSS player. Oi oi oi, this is intense. This is actually, what? Look at that, this is greed on a level. Wow, whoa, 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 whoa. Some beautiful stuff here. No blink starting yet. Okay, there we go. Starts right now. Hallucination is going to spot these 2 adepts. Is Harstem going to be in time with a response? Oh, yes, he is indeed. These 2 adepts will need to find an alternate angle. Will just jump on top of these sentries here as herO throws down his own Dark Shrine. And this is a delayed Dark Shrine. So just kind of flipping the order of the buildings. The problem with a Dark Shrine against a 1-gate low ground wall is that I'm not often a very big fan of him. Oi, oi, oi. Oracle is going to spot this. Robotics facility goes down, and herO can just keep a unit in the wall. Now, the 3rd base for Harstem is extremely fast here, but he doesn't have a robotics facility yet, and that could be an issue. These 2 adepts, oh, could be in a little bit of trouble. We have another battery wall coming up. No robo still coming out of Harstem, so despite that fast 3rd base, he's definitely lacking something, and that something is detection right now. If it wasn't for that complete lack of detection, I'd still actually prefer the Dutch PROTOSS' position against herO here, because what does herO really have? He has equal amount of stalkers. I guess there's a sentry, maybe one more warp gate, but that's about it. Like, you're still going to need to build observers as well as herO, but there's no third base. Harstem is winning this, except he doesn't have detection. He's just completely forgetting about the possibility of there being some invisible units here. Rookie mistake here out of our Dutch PROTOSS player. Look at that. Robotics facility is going to get constructed here right now in that natural base, but there's no wall whatsoever. This DT is moving in already. We see Harstem trying to set up a wall with the stalkers, but it's not going to be enough. At least not for very long. Oh, nice force field here. Winning even more time. Prism on the way as a follow-up. Still no third base here for herO, but the first 3 workers have gone down already. These probes need to start moving away. I love these force fields. I'm a huge fan of them, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. Some nice juggling around with these stalkers, but yeah, here we go as this DT is going to enter, and yeah, we're gonna need some great hold position micro. Look at that. Battery being taken out. Nexus is taking a massive beating as well. Probe should be moved away at this point. Harstem maybe believed that he still had a lock on that DT with the stalkers around, but 14, 15 workers going down at this point is just... It's just a dramatic development over here. Finally, the observer pops. Third base will stay alive, but at what cost? We have 6 gateways out for herO right now, with 1 aggressive one out there as well, which is of course going to be hugely beneficial for his position in this game. We have an Archon coming in as well. Just losing 17 workers is almost always a death sentence. Observer is at home here for herO and is going to spot that. Let's take a look at that reaction time. There we go. Is indeed going to see it immediately. Blinks forward on top of the stalkers as well. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, maybe it's not exactly going to be it, as Prism gets sniped. A little bit sloppy there out of herO. DT is dealing some damage here in the main base. We'll get 5-6 worker kills. Harstem actually making... well, I don't want to say a game out of it, but he's pretending to make a game out of it at least, and I appreciate the grit that he's showing, showing that he's not some pushover that just leaves the moment things get tough, but he will need to leave right now as herO takes game number 1 in this best of 3. Alrighty friends, game number 2 over here on Inside and Out as Harstem once again opening up with a cheeky, very similar builder actually, just a straight up rally into the gas. And so you have this probe just idling for no reason whatsoever. Love to see it. Out of herO once more. That quick 1 gate expand on the low ground. I'd love to see Harstem just go for something a little bit different. Look, I personally am a fan. You know, I'm a fan of doing something wild, of doing something weird. But maybe it's not the time. You know, not against herO. herO is the king of making stuff weird. He likes having it weird. If your strength is being in stable positions and kind of taking it from there, and the other guy's strength is playing in weird positions and taking it from there, then surely you want to stabilize the game as much as possible. And I think opening up with quick DTs is just a mistake in that type of scenario. I mean, herO is very, very good, but when we're talking about mid-game strength, he does seem a little bit one-sided at times. And I think it's the one thing he does. He attacks with units without that many upgrades majority of the time. That's just what he likes to do. I love this, by the way, here out of Harstem. Huge play. Gets another pylon down. The reason why he does this is because he wants to force out the 3rd pylon out of herO. The 3rd pylon pre-Nexus is huge. I can't stress this enough how big this is. See how keen herO is on skipping that 3rd pylon pre-Nexus. He's cutting workers for it. The reason why you don't want to build that 3rd pylon pre-Nexus is because you just don't have the cash for it. Like, this isn't even possible what herO is doing here. He can't build this stalker. You need to cancel it. You can't get an oracle like this. Yeah, this is... He probably had to build that 3rd pylon, but if you build a 3rd pylon, just everything goes to crap. You can't afford the battery if you're afraid of being attacked. You can't easily afford the oracle and continuous worker production. Look at this! Look at this early game. 25 workers here for Harstem against the 22 of herO. What does herO have on this timing on the Nexus? 30 seconds right now against 45. So that's a 15 seconds difference. That means that the moment this Nexus finishes up, there's going to be higher mining, more resource extraction coming in from Harstem's side, because it's going to be better saturated across 2 bases. On top of that, these 15 seconds allow him to build at least 1 extra worker out of the Nexus as well. So it's going to add another worker into already being up those 3 workers. Add on to that, well, These oracles could deal some damage, and oracles, even if they don't deal damage, do have some value, of course, in them. They provide detection, they provide scouting, stasis ward, all of that good jazz. Harstem is ready. Oh yes, he was indeed. He was very, very ready for this. He's going to end up fighting that oracle just fine. And now we see that immediate transfer of workers into the natural. Look at that, 32 workers against 26. herO following this up with a third gateway coming out of him. But he's down in workers right now, and he's going to be struggling. He is going to be struggling getting something done in this game, because there's plenty of stalkers out. There's no adepts to kind of throw a wrench into this defense, which is, I guess, something that you would want otherwise, maybe. Look at his movement here. This is some tight movement coming out of Harstem as well, may I say. Oh, beautiful stuff. He's going to target down one of these oracles. That's that. That's absolutely that. herO's going to continue fighting here. Surely that's not going to be it. Takes out 2 workers total. Loses an oracle for that. A terrible trade. Third Nexus goes down immediately here as well. As we have Harstem with a bit of a lead in the Stalker count. Has slightly faster blink, despite not really chronoing it all that much. Faster third Nexus, more workers, and overall just a fantastic position. Because there was a double Oracle start, you know that a Dark Shrine, if it was built, would be delayed most likely. So I'm not entirely surprised to see a delay on the Robo coming out of Harstem after the third phase. I think this is a really good call in general. I think it's some high-level decision-making that we don't see that much in this matchup. A couple of Stalkers moving into the main base once more. Harstem did spot that there was a gateway morphing or building over there, and was planning maybe on moving into that direction. Instead, we see a battery being thrown down. This Oracle still ready to jump into the main at any point. No third base yet coming out of herO. herO is down 2 workers. herO is down 2 stalkers. herO is having a lot of trouble right now in this game. Loses an oracle on top of that. This probe, are you going to spot the fact that there's no gateway there right now? Or what are you doing, buddy? What is this? I don't know what it is. I actually am just not... Oh, there we go. Spots the 1 stalker moving in. And is going to spot this movement. So herO just down right now. He's just... I don't want to say this is over, but if you would cover the names and I would see this position, I'd say yes. The blue player currently has a massive advantage. It's just hugely ahead. herO is trying to come back into the game with a cool double adept kind of shade buy. He's going to get a couple of workers here. 5 workers to start with. Nice little blink to stop those adepts from dealing any more damage, as we see 6 workers going down here. Okay, 6 workers fall. That's actually somewhat of a big deal, and that pylon is still up. We see 2 more adepts being built. We still have this pressure coming out of the bottom side as well. Don't forget that there's actually less stalkers here for herO than there are for Harstem. And the +1's also quicker here for our Dutch PROTOSS player. This adept might just end up barely surviving. Maybe gets like half a kill, but 2 adept for... Oh, yeah, for one probe is just not going to be enough. I really do like this for our Dutch PROTOSS player, who seems to be in good shape in this game. Wonder what the plans are going to be. I'd say take a forward base, add a couple of extra gateways, just get that map control. One of the oddest things when you watch herO play in basically every matchup is that he manages to just take map control when he isn't supposed to have it. Like in this type of situation, like we're looking at an 18 versus 13 stalker battle. Like how can herO be on the map if Harstem decides that he's not allowed to be on the map? It simply shouldn't be possible. It simply should be impossible. This pylon is going to get taken out most likely. Harstem ends up losing this stalker. So you have these 3 adepts coming in once more. Observer is providing a lot of vision here. We have an observer on the far right side as well. These 3 adepts right now are probably planning on going in. It's going to be quite tricky to deal with actually for Harstem. It's not going to get spotted until it's most likely too late. Can we get a recall? No. 4 stalker warp in. Quick response. Pulls away the workers. Terrible terrible blink there. And a couple of workers will end up falling. 4 workers for 3 adept once more. A good trade here for Harstem. With that forward base up and running, we see herO transitioning into 5 gases and looking perhaps for a Templar Archives here. Perhaps a couple of extra gates. What are we at right now? 5. That's not enough. 6. Still not enough. if you really want to do something at this point, I think herO needs... He needs something. I'm not sure what it is that he needs, though. I'm not sure what it is that he needs. He's down an upgrade. He has worse eco. His forward base is delayed. Here comes Harstem, perhaps with a blink forward. This is not enough coming out of herO. Guardian Shield not being used by the Dutch PROTOSS player. You have a Zealot flank coming in as well. Immortal did get sniped there. Why is Harstem retreating here? I am not so sure. He's up in Stalkers. He has his own charge as well. It's one of these wonderful things that herO is capable of doing. He's just fighting while being down in units. Robotics Bay is on the way here. I like that. Has the map control, goes into the Robo Bay. Would even love to see a 5th base at this point, either on the left side or on that right side. But there definitely is time. There is a position. And I think it's time to go for it, honestly. Perhaps Harstem wants to wait until he has that +2. Hey, surely these Stalker numbers. Hey, this is just... I just don't understand how these fights are even slightly leaning the way of herO. It just makes no sense whatsoever. And we have a Dark Shrine, we have a Roadway, we have a Roadway coming out of herO as well. Second Robotics Facility coming in too. We finally have that 5th base going down as the game kind of stabilizes. Harstem in control of the game, but herO with some nice map vision as well. So, not necessarily the end of the world. We have 2 observers, one just popped out. This Robotics Facility is going to be pumping out disruptors one by one. Good rotation here with that observer. It's definitely going to end up helping out. This should cost herO's observer's life. Pew! Shoot it. Find it. Surely, yeah, there we go. Stalker Warping is going to get this. +2 is done as well. There's a 30 supply difference between these 2 players currently. 5th base up already for Harstem, or about to be up. We have the Dark Shrine as well, so any potential Zealot run-bys will be easily stopped on top of that. And I think herO is just going into pure turtle mode at this point, saying, hey, I know in the longer game that I can maybe make something happen with some slick plays. And if that's the case, then I want to go into a late game. Here comes the Zealot run-by being sent out. Good defensive movement coming out of herO here as we have the attack. Harstem going in. Disruptor shoots will not be capable of hitting anything too big. The Zealots will stop this attack. Stalker dies on the bottom side. Couple of Zealots in the main. DT in every single base as well. As herO in a world of trouble right now. Oi, 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 oi. Look at these DTs go as well. That is beautiful stuff. That is absolutely beautiful stuff. 4 or 5 workers being taken out immediately. As Harstem now moving in once more. Sends in a disruptor shot. It's just going to take out 1 or 2 of them Stalkers. Not a huge deal, honestly. This DT, what you doing, buddy? What you doing? You're dying, that's what you're doing. DT in the main base is just idling, hold positioned right next to the mineral line. It's most likely going to get caught in a couple of seconds from now. As Harstem sees another opportunity here. Is kind of low in the disruptor count, only at 1. herO is at 2. Is pumping, well, 2 out at a time, I guess. Well, this one is never going to end up finishing. That's a big shot potentially. There we go. That's 10 supply that goes down the drain immediately. DT remains alive. We have a run by heading towards the top side base. There's no cannon there either. herO perhaps in a little bit of trouble. Disruptor coming down. Might want to get a big shot. You see a quick blink back, but Harstem actually getting pushed back here. A little bit painful to watch. At the same time though, we have these DTs hitting this top side base. And Zealot's helping out as well. 10 workers are going to end up falling. Harstem up 30 supply currently. Still a little bit of a bank left for herO. Ooh, look at that. This is an interesting probe. That's an interesting probe. This base is indeed going to get stopped from mining too much more. 77 workers against 62. Double forages spinning right now here for Harstem, who's throwing down 4 more gateways. Fairly good move. Love to see just a second robotics facility though. Okay, there is one, but it isn't being used quite yet. I'm not so sure why that is the case. Gas perhaps a little bit too low. But it is somewhat surprising. DT here still hasn't done anything. Probe still working on that gateway as well. Look at that. This guy's on a warpath. Chung, chung, chung. After he's done with the gateway, he has more stuff to eat. He's never done. Oh, big purification over here. Going to take out 8 of those, or sorry, 8 supply, 4 of those Stalkers. There's a couple of these disruptors that are now moving into position. There's not that many defensive disruptors left here though for Harstem. 119 supply against 98. Only up 1 upgrade currently. I'm not so sure if this is actually a great situation. We have another Zealot run into the natural. There's 1 DT over here at the fort as well. So even if Harstem can lose a base, he can afford to lose a base. That's not going to be the end of the world. The end of the world would be if he eats a couple of big disruptor shots. That's 1. That's not going to go up. All of these disruptors will get taken out. herO actually, though, with these immortals around, taking a pretty decent fight. 90 army supply against 73. 78 against 69 as these zealots out of herO not really participating in the fight. Here comes a big disruptor shot. Will connect with them immortals. There's a lot of cash in the bank for both players, actually. Both of them just capable of reinforcing this relatively easily, I would say. It's the first time in this game herO actually pulls ahead in the army supply, 63 against 58. There still are... Oh my god, what did these zealots do? They just killed everything, I guess. Look at that. If this attack here into the natural super battery gets activated, is there even... Okay, there is a detector coming in right now, an observer moving in. We have more DTs being morphed as well. Will get taken out most likely. Blink forward. That's a snipe on... That's a snipe on that observer right there. And with these DTs still alive, there's nothing left to do for herO right now. Does not have the income anymore. Is forced to recall back home as he's building the next observer, trying to send it across the map. And it's going to maybe end up killing a couple of these zealots, but Harstem is fine with that. He knows he's outmining his opponent in a very big way with that 5th base that he had, with that +3 finishing up right now. And double immortals being pumped out. RoboBay has gone down, but is being rebuilt as well. There's not that much cash in the bank, but I think there's enough where it's going to be really difficult here for herO to actually break this position, despite herO actually having these two extra disruptors. There we go, blinks forward into this. 1 purification Nova is actually not going to hit all that much. Blink forward will take everything out, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be game. As this DT in the main base killed a couple of workers, takes out a pylon here as well. Stalker count 10 against 9. As Harstem, after a poor game number 1, is going to pick up the victory in game number 2. GG gets called, and the score is all tied up. Just like that, we've entered game number 3 between herO and Harstem. Would you look at that? The Dutchie showing how it's done, as neither player opting for a quick scout. herO just not scouting at all. This guy has freaking balls of steel. So, I'm not super familiar with every single game that they've played, but I do know that they've played each other in the World Team League, I believe it was. It might have even been on this map, in which Harstem went for, that was on Moondance, Harstem went for a proxy robo and should have 100% won that game. It was Stargazers actually, not Moondance, my apologies. herO should have absolutely died, but herO with some magical defense made it happen. And now on a map where 2-gate is the norm and proxies run rampant, we actually see herO go for a complete non-scout. This is insane. This is actual insanity. This makes no sense, ladies and gentlemen. This is mental. So we see he's trying to scout around a little bit. You know, scared. He's a little scared. He's like, hey, this ain't right. This ain't right. But wow, oh my god. herO, you madman. Just look at this. Stalker adept into a Nexus. This is risky stuff. Now, Harstem also didn't scout, but at least he scouted around. He's like, wait, there's no probe scout? Surely this is a proxy. And he's scouting every little nook and cranny on this entire map. The entire Cosmic Sapphire, wherever it is might be. Both players just rushing into a fast Nexus. And herO just doesn't care. He just literally doesn't care. He looks at this and says to himself, it's normal. It's fine. No battery either. He's not building a blind battery. He's just living life. And now herO is gonna get the first scout as well. That's the worst thing. herO right now sees this. He sees this battery. He's like, man, this Harstem guy's a loser. Holy crap. Battery? What's wrong with this guy? He's gonna throw down a Twilight Council. Harstem can't throw down a Twilight Council until he scouts. He still believes he's being proxied. Look at this. Look at this moron. He's running around looking for a proxy. It ain't there, buddy. It doesn't exist. Right now he's seeing the Nexus time. He's like, wait a second, that Nexus is almost faster than mine. Wait, what? That Nexus is almost faster than mine. Harstem's still up 2 workers, but down by about, what, 20 seconds on the Twilight Council here. That is a huge deal. That is massive. That is absolutely huge, and now Harstem is going to get tricked into chasing this Adept as well. Look at this. Look at the movement here coming out of herO with the double sentry. Oh no, would you look at that. Can we get a recall? No, we can't get a recall. I bet there wasn't any energy. 2 Stalkers will get taken out for free, and this is just pure pain right now. Harstem is going to be forced into warping in more and more units, delaying his blink. Well, he could afford it actually if he knew how to macro, but I guess he doesn't. He's gonna get more Stalkers warped in. Still, oh my god, he's up 7 workers. That's actually a lot. If he hadn't lost those first 2, how bad would this be? The first 2 Stalkers. This game would be pretty over. Why does herO have no workers? Battery? Battery? Surely, battery. Yeah, battery in time. What is this hallucination doing, though? I'm not sure. What? Yeah, what? Oh yeah, talking about bad moves. That definitely was one of them. herO is just adding more and more gateways as he's just kind of containing this position. But he's all in off of this. Double Adepts are being warped in as well. No second battery coming in. Here comes herO. Blink not quite done yet. Perhaps he's going for a kill on some of these sentries. Yep, 1 sentry gets taken out. Second sentry will survive. These force fields are not good enough. They do not lock in any units. 2 Adepts will end up falling. Here come the 2 Adepts of Harstem. Does not have the gateway count though to really stand up against the bully that herO is. Immortal will get chrono boosted, but is it going to be enough? Here come the Adepts. 2 Adepts. Here we go. Into the main base they go. And we'll start taking out worker after worker after worker after worker. 6 Stalkers against 11. Immortal done in about 20 seconds. Here comes the blink forward out of herO. That means that this battery is not going to be capable of doing anything. Lots of workers are falling on the other side. As this Immortal is going to pop out in a couple of seconds. Here comes the blink on top of the Stalkers once more. Start sniping down the pylon, and this Immortal is not going to finish. 57 supply against 63 it was, but now the workers are falling rapidly. These 2 Adepts dealt so much damage, but GG gets called as herO, with a razor-sharp timing, manages to take out the Dutch PROTOSS player in this best of 3. A fantastic best of 3 with a lot of potential for the Dutchie, but once again, the South Korean PROTOSS player just a little bit too strong, a little bit too smart, and a little bit too aggressive. That is going to be it for me today. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you, and bye-bye.